Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdi, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Pakhair agale, ni hao, tjune shumme, washmale, ohaya gozaimes, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shamat chatore, ahlan wa sahlan marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabiha, and sabah khair, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning into PTV World. You watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very amazing Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Well, I think I'm doing great too as well. I think that the kind of topic we've picked up on today, ladies and gentlemen.
It's so informative.
Yeah, it's going to be very informative, but I think that it's going to be challenging at the same time as well. But other than that, you know, before we indulge into what we're talking about, there's this very important thing which I wanted to ask you.
All right.
So, yeah, it's going to be 2020 in a couple of days as well. And we are seeing that a decade is actually going to end. But not really end, we still have a year to that as well. But as a matter of fact, what kind of a person do you want to be, or do you want to see yourself to be by 2030, if I may ask?
Oh,
Yeah,
all right. That's a very interesting question. And you've taken me again off guard because I thought I'll throw this question at you. But all right, I'm going to answer.
Yeah,
This is a very interesting thing, though. There's this theory of decades, I don't know how to explain that, going on in our house, which explains that after each and every decade, a person is actually, you know, I mean, the lifestyle changes, the life entirely changes, the decisions in their life change, the quality of their life change. And, you know, not everyone is, let's say, not everyone gets the thing throughout their life. I mean, they have to strive for it sometimes. Sometimes there are good times, sometimes there are bad. So I really hope the upcoming decade, inshallah, I really hope, I mean, for my entire family, it turns out to be good. But specifically talking about me, how I want to be for the next decade, I want to be more giving. I want to be more inspired by things around me. I want to be more patient, to be honest. I really want to control my temper issues, which you don't believe I have.
Yeah, I don't believe that you have temper issues because, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I've never ever seen Shiza actually, you know, exhibiting cold behavior. And I think that I'm
Because
a witness
it's
to
a
that.
continuous
She's never done anything of that sort. Or probably it may be because of the fact that, you know, I do not ask any stupid questions from her as well.
Exactly.
Yes, it can be either way. But I think that, you know, time passes by, time does not stop for anybody. But
Indeed.
I think that the sooner you learn, it's better for everybody who's out there as well. But other than that...
No, but my question to you
Yeah, go ahead.
now, you know, similarly about the next decade, rather than the next decade, I want to ask you, since we're moving out of this specific decade, what lessons or what things are you taking along with you in the next one?
I think that this from 2010 till 2020 was really something which actually changed me as a person.
Okay.
And changed my perception about how the life needs to be. Because prior to 2010, I think I was still very young and I was just still wondering, you know, that what am I going to do with my life? I think that
uncertainty, right?
This particular decade has given me a lot of direction. This particular decade has actually made me realize that, you know, if I was smarter earlier, I could have realized it before 2010 as well. I think that was something which this is something which I always think that, you know, okay, since these are the things which I know now, so if I knew them 5 years before this time, so I think that I would have done a wonderful job. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that this time, the kind of age gap I am in, or the time frame we are living through, I think that has actually helped me evolve as a human being who is, thank you very much for saying that, who's more giving, who's more forgiving as well, who's very patient. But then at the same time, he's always made sure that for all of those things who were making me impatient, who were making me not to be very forgiving, I think I've left all of those things as well. And I've realized what my true potentials are and what am I striving for, and it's only excellence.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but I just realized in this specific decade, this was all about education for me, to be honest. I completed my matric, my FSC, my bachelor's, and my master's
You
entirely
completed
in
your
this.
matric after 2010?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
So yeah, I mean, I'm saying all this in this decade. So well, it was really educational for me.
Yeah, so I think, okay, so then my piece of advice for you will be that from 2020 till 2030 will
Don't
be the
study.
same kind of decade which I've gone through myself. And it's going to evolve you into a beautiful human being as well. All you need to do is be open for opportunities, and whenever you get an opportunity, seize it.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no
Words
problem.
of wisdom early in the morning.
Yeah, I was just trying. But today, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be 18th of December 2019. We still have 12 more days towards Happy New Year as well. You know, a lot of people are coming up with New Year resolutions. I don't think the New Year resolutions actually kind of work for people like me. I don't know whether they work for you or not.
You know what? Earlier, I feel like in childhood, with my siblings and everything, we
Yeah.
used to have this sort of tradition. We used to make, New Year resolution on the Christmas tree, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, now, of course, it doesn't work. We do realize that.
yeah.
But I do have a New Year's promise for myself. I have to
What's
buy
that?
myself a car in the next year,
Oh,
inshallah.
inshallah, inshallah. So,
Everyone pray for me.
It's great, and everybody's going to pray for you as well. But all you need to do is pray from Allah that you get a car as well. So, Allah,
Inshallah,
may
yeah,
please
yeah.
give her a car. She
Ameen.
needs a car, give her. And for everybody who needs a car, give them a car as well. Because this was one prayer which came out of my mouth early in the morning today when I saw a lot of children who were going to school on their motorbikes with their fathers. And thinking of how cold it is, I think that this is one characteristic which I want everybody to possess, and that is to have a heart for everybody else
Yeah, of
who's
course.
out there. And I think that is very important. But other
Yeah.
than that, coming back to since it's 18th of December 2019, it's a very important day.
Yeah.
And it's an important day, ladies and gentlemen. It's because of the fact that we are actually going to speak about a language which is spoken by 26 countries. It was recognized as the 6th important language in the world by United Nations as well back in 1973. And I think whenever we talk about trade back in the time, because this was one of those languages which was spoken very widely as well. So it kind of, when one nation actually has to talk to another one, so this was the language which was actually used. This year around the theme is Arabic language and artificial intelligence as well. And I think that to preserve any language, we really need to venture onto technological advancements
Absolutely.
just to make sure that our language is actually going to stay forever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're looking at all the, like you mentioned, technological advancements, most of them happen to be functioning on the English language,
Yes.
which is good, of course, globally, because a lot of people can relate to it and understand as well. But that might, bring up the factor of killing the original other languages as well. Like, I really enjoy when Kareem drivers in Pakistan have the, GPS speaking in Urdu. Yahan se dai mure, yahan se. I really enjoy that. I'll tell you why. Because, of course, while globalization is really important, it preserves, like you mentioned, your
Exactly.
own culture as well. And since we're talking about Arabic language, Shahzad, is spoken by more than 290 million people all around the world. And usually we sort of, connect it with Islam, ever since Islam came into being, Arabic came into being. But no, it actually dates even back than that, probably 100 or more years. And there are so many things that we need to learn about this language today. But before that, we do have a small package for you to give out even more detail about this specific day, International Arabic Language Day. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at it. And when you come back, we will start the conversation with our amazing guests over here.
Good morning.
Arabic Language Day was established in 2010 by UNESCO to promote cultural understanding and to highlight Arabic as one of the most important languages in the world. With an estimated 390 million speakers, Arabic is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world. It is also one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations, as well as the liturgical language of 1.6 billion Muslims, being one of the only modern languages to be written and read in right-to-left form. Arabic is a fascinating language with a long history. The best way to celebrate this day would be to increase your knowledge of this language. Many people living in parts of North America or Europe may not even really know how it sounds. The Arabic language is especially beautiful when sung.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I think that we've given you quite a lot of information, but today over here in the studios, we've actually been joined by experts who've actually spent years and years learning this language and practicing and then kind of mastering it as well. A few of them are actually teaching, a few of them are working on it as well. Speaking of Arabic, as I've mentioned, that it's a language which is actually spoken in 26 different countries.
Yes.
Not just that, I think calligraphy, arts, and all of these mediums have actually utilized Arabic in a very amazing manner as well, and it's still being preserved. The shelf life is greater as well, and for us Muslims, we have a very different kind of connection with Arabic. Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
and I think I really need to do justice with my work as well. I think that our parents never realized how important it is for anybody to understand Arabic back then. But now people are realizing, because back then even all of those qaris who actually used to come home and teach us Quran, they even never understood what the Arabic meant.
But
And I
Suresh,
think that now people are actually working on it.
Yeah, and adding to that, Shahzad, I feel like, yes, you are right. I mean, generally speaking, of course, a lot of people do, really want to learn Quran by heart, read it, teach it to their children as well, without reading the meaning of it, which is true. I'm sorry if a lot of people are going to hate it, but this is the truth. Qaris saab that is going to come to your home will usually not explain you the whole translation or the mafhum of it, you know what I mean? So we used to study, we used to read Quran Pak by the Qari Sahib, of course, all of us siblings and whatnot. But my mom, I think I read, the credit due is due, this one is out, this is literally for her. She cannot read Arabic because, of course, she was not brought up in such an environment where she could read Urdu or Arabic. But here's the thing, because she really wanted herself and us to understand, so after Qari Sahib went, we would, like make her listen to our sabak in Arabic, and then she had a Quran with English translation and everything, and she used to read that out. So both of us actually learned a lot of things.
I think that's great. So it always has to be mutual, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, we have some amazing guests over here. It's going to be mutual cooperation where they're going to let us know why this day is important, why do we really need to celebrate or observe this day as well, and how Arabic language can actually be preserved for future generations, and how can the understanding be better. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, one of our very regular guests over here as well, he's an Islamic scholar himself. He's none other than Dr. Abdul Basit Mujahid Sahab. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
كيف حال?
أنا بخير. كيف أنتم?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, jazakallah. Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you alongside Dr. Abdul Basit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have actually been joined by a professor of Arabic language. He's none other Miss Asmaul Husna. Hello ma'am, كيف حال? Assalamu alaikum.
أنا بخير.
أنا بالخير alhamdulillah.
كيف أنتم؟
Alhamdulillah. I think that's all I know. Yes, so that's all I'm going to speak as well. But we're going to learn today.
We'll learn.
I think we are on that journey today where we actually want to learn. And ladies and gentlemen, for me, I think I have a different thing for languages. I just want to learn languages. It doesn't really matter which language I'm speaking, but I just want to learn more languages. I think it's more interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us. It's wonderful to have you. Alongside ma'am Asmaul Husna, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually been joined by the lecturer, Arabic Department number, Dr. Muhammad Fakhr Moeen Sahab. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Thank you very much for joining us. كيف حال?
Alhamdulillah.
أنا بخير. So he's fine. Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. That's great. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been once again joined by a lecturer of Arabic language. He's none other Mr. Abdul Rahman. Assalamu alaikum, sir. كيف حال?
بارك الله فيكم حياكم الله.
Alhamdulillah.
كيف أنتم؟
थोड़ा सा सर ऊंचा बोलना पड़ेगा इसको कैसे अरबी में बोलते हैं सर
كيف أنتم؟
تكلم بصوت عالي.
मैं थोड़ा सीख के बोलूंगा अभी समझ भी कम आ रही है but that's great. Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. Finally, there's a day that we actually get to speak about the language our religion is in, I think, and it's a great omen that we're talking about it. But how would you like to raise the importance of this day? And do you think that it is necessary for us to observe such a day as well?
Yeah.
Basit sahab.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As you, in your intro, you said already that this is a very rich language, and more than 27 countries, they have their this national language. And most important is that only few languages have this status in UN, which are international languages in such a manner, and Arabic is one of them. And another thing is that I could say that only ancient living language is Arabic.
Yes, absolutely.
We have a lot of ancient languages, but they are not living languages. This is one aspect. And second aspect is that we are living in Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Our foundation is on an ideology, and that ideology is Islam. So we can't understand Islam without learning Arabic.
Absolutely.
Because Quran is in Arabic, Hadith is in Arabic, and in paradise, those who would be in paradise, their language would be Arabic.
Yep.
And when we would be starting our other life, which is eternal life, in that, when we would be in our grave, what would be the questions and answer, that would also be in Arabic. So it is relevant to us. And being a Muslim, we reply the call from Allah Almighty 5 days. And what we are saying in Salah, that is Arabic. We just came across each other and we just start with Assalamu alaikum.
Right.
What's that? This is Arabic. So Arabic is in our blood. Arabic is everywhere. But this to celebrate this day is we must learn more and more and more. And as Shahzad was saying, that we must learn what we are talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Right. We should understand.
Yes, what we are reciting, we must be knowing. And a lot of people are saying this thing that when we are offering prayer, our concentration is not in prayer.
Exactly.
The
Because
one
they don't
remedy is
understand.
that we must be knowing what we are saying. If we are saying Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we would be knowing that, and when in Surah Fatiha we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. What is that? What we are asking for? Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, guide us from the right path, for the right path. So the thing is, this is very important. And one thing more, Arabic is very sweet language, very systematic language.
Yeah.
And as you know, nowadays in youth, this is very popular. People are fond of the Arabic songs as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course.
So this is another aspect as well.
Of course, making it contemporary as well. But ma'am, to you, as almost a similar question. While we do understand that preserving a language is so important for the heritage, for the culture, yes. But to internationally observe it, a language that is, of course, spoken by more than 290 million people, but not globally. I mean, not everyone does that, including people like Shazad and me. Why do you think it was important?
First of all, we are Muslims, and every Muslim should learn Arabic language.
Okay.
Because our religion is in Arabic language. A Quran revealed in Arabic language,
Yes.
and there is a ayah from Surah Yusuf. Inna anzalna al-Qur'ana lughatan Arabiyya.
Okay.
We revealed
Yes.
Quran in Arabic language so that we may learn Arabic language.
All right, all right.
And why we celebrate this day, why we have given the importance of this day, 18th December.
Yeah.
First, General Assembly of UNO approved Arabic language as a sixth language in UNO. So according to that, we celebrate 18th December as an Arabic day.
Exactly.
Yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
that's a very good point which you have raised. But I'm not very sure whether, because when Shiza asked you a question, your answer actually started by that, for us Muslims, it is very important to understand Arabic. But now, as a matter of fact, I think that we are actually talking about this day. It's because of the fact that the United Nations actually recognize this language. I do not really know how many Muslims would there be serving in the United Nations before they even considered Arabic language to be recognized by the United Nations themselves, right?
Yes.
So I think that there's a greater message over here which we are undermining, and it's just because of the fact that we, us Muslims, we're thinking that, since Arabic is the language that Allah has actually spoken to us
in Arabic
that language. So I think that we'll keep that aside, but focus more on the language itself, and not just Arabic, English, Urdu, any other language. Let's talk about language and how can we actually benefit, how can the people benefit. Now I'm just going to move on to Sir over here. So Sir, you yourself are a professor of Arabic language. It is very hard for anybody to learn it again. So I'm going to take you back in time. When you were a kid, obviously we have this Qari culture, people come in, they make us learn Quran, and it's in Arabic language. But nobody back in those days focused on us understanding the language. Why do you think we missed out on that? Even though that, back in the days, our parents or our grandparents were more religious than we are today. I mean, God forbid. I think that's in all honesty. How difficult was it when you got into a profession which was teaching Arabic language to learn it again and then make sure that people understand the direction of the language?
First of all, I would like to say thank you to your team for inviting me to speak about Arabic language on this special day, Arabic Day. The second thing is Arabic language is a very rich language. It is spoken by the 400 million people around the world. It is among the six major languages of the world, and it is among the six official languages of the United Nations. But coming to your question, it is a matter of fact that we haven't focused on Arabic language as we should.
Okay.
The Arabic language had been being taught in the religious schools as religious side for religious for Islamic education but we didn't treat Arabic language as international language. We should focus on Arabic language as international language, and there are many aspects, and we can benefit by focusing on this language, by teaching this language by promoting this language, we can benefit. There are opportunities in Arabic world that we can benefit from. We have here in Namalin National University of Modern Languages, there are Korean language department, there are German language department, there are Chinese language department, and the students are, their departments are flooded with the students. But we have here, our Arabic department is rather quiet.
Okay.
The reason maybe behind that is the employment opportunities that those countries have.
Okay.
And students are coming and learning their languages, and the scholarship opportunities that those countries are providing our students. So we should focus, our government should focus on this language. We are already focusing on the Arabic language as our religion language, but we are not focusing, we are not treating this language as an international language. We should know its importance.
Yeah, of course. And now I feel like we have definitely established that Arabic language is important, and it is really important that today we're celebrating the day as well. But I want you, sir, to please take us back in time in terms of the history of the language.
History of the language that we can, first of all, I'm thanking to you, grateful to you.
Thank you very much.
And also, you called me a lecturer of Arabic. This is maybe a mistake. I am a lecturer of Sharia and Law Faculty in Islamic University.
Yeah. So I think it goes out for our producers. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes. This is.
Thank you very much for the correction.
Yes. We can see that the Arabic era was three part. Here's a three part.
Okay.
Prehistory and post-history and present situation. We can see that. Prehistory, the relationship of Arabic language with nation of Ad and Samud. The first, we can say that before 2000 years before.
So can you speak a little louder? It's hard to
Yes. Before 1900 years, the Qawm Ad and Samud, this era was the Arabic language, the relationship of Arabic language with Qawm, with nation Ad and Samud was. After that was history, the first father, we can say that in history, the father of Arabic language is Ibrahim and Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. After that, gradually Arabic, but this was before Islam. After Islam, we can say that we may say that Arabic is the divine gift, and also nowadays became we can say the sacred part of a custom and society. That the historian says that was three tribes of Arab Araba and Arab Mustaraba and Arab Ba'ida. Arab Ba'ida, prehistory Arab, and Arab Mustaraba, deported Arab. Actually, they were not a real and non-Arabic speaker. Actually, they were Arab Mustaraba. But after immigration, they became Arab like Egyptians. Egyptians, they are not original Arab. But they became Arab. They choose the Arabic language as a part after Islam. But Arab, the original Arab, like from Ismail alayhi salam till now, that special country like Yemen, like Saudi Arabia, like Jordan. Jordan has a very, we can say, the very important country regarding Arabic. The first kingdom regarding Arabic language was before 1900 years before. This was Arabic kingdom in that time was. But after, we can say that after Quran and after Prophet, after that, they given the more lightness, more brightness to Arabic language. We can say that Arabic Quran, some text and some words, Quran changed some Arabic. That the more the Quran chosen and selected the most important words to more bright, to more enlighten the Arabic language.
Okay.
This is the
And thank you very much for mentioning that as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have two questions in my head. Now, one, obviously, where Dr. Saab was actually saying that, you know, that we really need to work on the language. But I think that it is the sole responsibility of a person who actually speaks that language to promote that language in the first place. And if we say what are the different ways in how languages are promoted, I think that bilateral trade can actually help. You know, when you exchange words, when you exchange letters, when you meet up, I think that that's how it's done as well. But other than that, I think that you know, one way or the other, we've taken a very wrong direction to it as well. That, you know, since it's our religious language, so we need to understand it. Whatever way it is, you know, I think whenever we speak about language, for us it is for now to decide what are we supposed to do with this language. And I think that this is a question for all of you, because I think everybody will have a very different opinion to that. That whatever we have done in the past, it's okay. But I think it's for the sayers or the keepers of the language to promote the language itself. And the ways of promoting language can be very different. You know, obviously there can be cross-cultural programs, there can be people coming in, going out. Just like, you know, people have invested in English, people have invested in Chinese. We see that, you know, schools are actually offering courses in Chinese and all of these languages. So what do you guys think about what the Saudis or any Arabic-speaking gentleman or lady would have done to make sure that the language was understood in a larger area of the globe? Sir?
In fact, the thing is that as we are now having conversation in English language,
Yes, sir.
so you know that there is a history, there was environment, there was a British rule. That is why we are groomed in this.
Exactly.
So yes, this is a responsibility of the people, those having this language in their heart, in their memory, in their ancestry. But the thing is that we have to think now globally, as we are having this knowledge in our mind that Middle East, most of Middle East, they are Arabic speakers.
All right.
Then oil-rich countries, they all are Arabic speakers. A few exceptions are there, but mostly OPEC, yes. So, and for youth of today, there are a lot of opportunities, employment opportunities. Now, Arabic countries, particularly I would like to mention Qatar.
Okay.
Qatar is investing in education enormously.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of our colleagues, particularly in English language and scientific knowledge, they are hired by very nice universities in Qatar.
Okay.
Now this Emirates, they are also switching towards universities.
All right.
So there are opportunities. And you know that most of Arabic countries, we have very good relations.
Yes, of course.
But the thing is that we are not taking keen interest to learn languages. See, workforce in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, in Oman, they spend decades over there, but they are not learning language because they are not having interest. And we must, through your this very good program, we want to say this thing that if we learn another language, we utilize more our mind and our skills, and we would be having more understanding about the cosmos, about our own selves.
Yeah, and you're way more smarter as well. Well, okay, but you know, I think that, you know, while I was speaking earlier about the language itself, there's one point which I missed out, and ma'am, I'm going to put this to you as well. That is that, you know, whenever you want people to learn your language, just like the French did, you know, they do not speak any other language. They do not even like speaking English or any other language. So what people do is either they download applications or they have a book from which they can translate English into French and then speak to them. Now, because of the religious tourism within the Saudi and all of these countries as well, not just religious tourism, just tourism as well, what I have seen and what I have witnessed myself is that they have learned to speak our languages rather than putting us into their shoes where we were supposed to learn their language. Don't you think that, I think that just because of this entire environment which was built by them, by themselves as well, we were unable to learn the language? Because if they weren't able to understand whatever we were speaking, we would have tried harder to make them understand in their own language. But they have learned ours. You know, so whenever you go to Saudi, you know, anybody would know Urdu, anybody would know Chinese, anybody, and they're Arabs and they've learned it themselves. So do you think that if it would have been the other way around, we would have learned Arabic ourselves?
Yes, we should learn Arabic language, and we teach. I teach. I am Dr.
Yeah.
Asma. I teach in Arabic language in Namal,
Yes.
and I teach Chinese language. Chinese student Arabic language, and many other
Imagine.
nationalities are coming to our university, and they are learning Chinese Arabic language.
Yeah.
And it will helpful for us
Right,
to
absolutely.
when we travel to Arab countries, we can do business easily, we can do jobs easily after
And
learning
communicate
Arabic
with people
language.
generally.
Communicate Arabic language there over in our Arab countries.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, I do agree with that, ma'am. Yes, of course, I feel like you guys being, let's say, the guardians of the language in Pakistan, you guys have a role as well to play. But we are talking about the language itself, Shahzad. The vocabulary is so huge, and the contribution the Arab language alone has made to other all languages, it's just immense. But this is what I'll, ask you both about. But after this very short break, so ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned if you need to find out more about Arabic language. Good morning. Welcome back to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with the super energetic, very Arab-looking Shahzad Khan and Shahzad Hashmi today, where we are celebrating and recognizing Arab as an international language, Arabic, and also learning a lot about it. But other than that, today happens to be another important day.
Yes.
Shahzad, please let us know.
Yeah, today,
what.
ladies and gentlemen, it happens to be International Migration Day as well. And since we all know that this world is a global village now, and everybody who's actually got the means to probably move to a better lifestyle, I think that's what people do. People move to different countries, people move to different places looking for better opportunities.
Absolutely.
And I think that this is a day which widely needs to be enjoyed and observed by everybody who once actually migrated and people who are thinking to migrate as well. We have a small package to share with you guys.
But before that, I have some very important things to say.
Go ahead.
Shahzad, when we're talking about migration, you very rightly mentioned, people who aspire to probably change their lives, or probably, achieve things that are maybe not available in that region, they do migrate, which is a great thing. And because of globalization, we have soft borders now. I mean, look at the bloc, European Union, of course. Everyone can do whatever they want. But even in such an age, in 2019, ladies and gentlemen, the 21st century, there are some people, there are some nations which are, I want to say, mentally challenged. Shahzad, looking at CAB, the Citizenship Amendment Bill by India, which categorically just ruled out the immigrants belonging to Islam religion. Muslims of any sorts, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, they're not allowed to enter India. But other people, non-Muslims from the same region, can be immigrants in India. I mean, just look at it. This is 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. We really hope, we do have softer borders in the future. And softer hearts as well. This had to be set up.
And I was even listening to the conversation in between Mr. Asad, who was actually defending his war, and he was there, and he said that, I think that Indians of India are actually scared of the Muslims of India as well.
Of course.
So one way or the other, I think that he was rightfully said it, but the counter argument was very strong as well. So if there's anybody who want to actually listen to that, you should listen to that.
Yeah.
But other than that, migration, ladies and gentlemen, actually for all of those Pakistanis who've migrated from Pakistan to elsewhere, I think has done a favor to Pakistan as well, because a lot of foreign remittances come from them as well, billions of rupees. And I think it's likewise everywhere else in the world as well. So let's just go. Let's take a look at that. You guys will come back. We'll actually ask our last questions from our amazing guests as well about Arabic language.
Absolutely.
But first, International Migration Day.
Migration, in the case of human beings, is the act of moving from one place to another, mainly moving from a country of origin to a new country to start new lives as permanent residents in their new home. International Migrants Day is an international day overseen on the 18th of December, which was appointed by the General Assembly of the United Nations on 4th of December 2000, after having taken into account the large and increasing number of migrants in the world. International Migrants Day is observed throughout many countries, intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations, through the spread of information on human rights and fundamental political freedoms of migrants, and through sharing of experiences and the design of actions to ensure the protection of migrants. Migration has been a courageous expression of individuals' will to overcome adversity and to live a better life. Today, globalization, together with advances in communications and transportation, has greatly increased the number of people who have the desire and the capacity to move to other places.
To come over adversity and to have a better life, ladies and gentlemen, that's why people migrate. But there's only one public service message which I would love to give away today, and that is that I've seen a lot of people, I don't know what to call it, but people have been very dubious in terms of when it comes to the visas or getting the visas. People from rural areas, they really do not have any exposure of how to go about it. So they actually are tricked by the travel agents over here within our own country, where they actually have to jump from one border to another border. And that's very dangerous. It's life-threatening as well. So please make sure the embassies are out there. You go, apply yourself, try asking for a translator. They will provide you with these facilities, but do not trust on these people who actually say that you give us 5 lakh rupees and we'll send you to South Africa, we'll send you to Europe and whatnot. Life's very hard that way.
Yeah, thank you so much for actually saying that. I feel like that was a very important aspect of Migrants Day. But coming back to International Arabic Language Day, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to you, Dr. Fakhr, I want you to let us know about the vocabulary itself of the language and how it contributes to other language, because we know that a lot of words, in Urdu even, are borrowed from Arabic.
Even in English, you drink coffee a lot, that word's actually taken from Arabic.
Really? Well. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that.
Keeping in view the Arabic language is the oldest one in this world. It is almost 15 years old. The Persian language is the second oldest spoken language.
Okay.
And English is, I think, the 600 years old.
Okay, and relatively newer.
So the Arabic language is the oldest and it is the richest language in the world. It carries almost more than 10 million words.
Oh, wow.
So it is very the richest world, and we had it influenced many languages. The Urdu language got influenced by the Arabic language in two ways, in directly or indirectly. Directly from Arabic language and indirectly from the Persian. Through the Persian, we got many words from Arabic language. So the expert says that there are more than 50% words of the Urdu language we got from the Arabic language.
Okay.
Wow, that's great. So
More than
towards the end,
50%.
since we are only left with last 3 minutes, there's only one thing which I want to ask, and that is, how can we actually change this very situation which is at our hands right now, that we are still teaching our kids Arabic, but they do not know how to understand that language? How can we solve that problem in every household?
In my opinion, we will, especially government, should announce the job special for Arabic lecturer and in every college in government jobs. But the second thing is that government should provide short courses like 3 months and 6 months like this. But I am thinking I am lucky that I am relating with from International Islamic University. Alhamdulillah, they provide a lot of opportunities for non-Arabic speakers. Especially once I asked Chinese, one Chinese students, our university is the bulk of countries, we can say the bulk of students, non-Arabic students. But once I asked Chinese, a lot of Chinese, I may say that the most and almost totally Chinese, they have admitted an Arabic faculty. Why? I asked one. They said that Arabic language, I am learning Arabic language for my business.
Okay.
But you cannot find anyone Chinese in other faculty.
All right.
Chinese and Indonesian and Malaysian and you can find this. International Islamic University emphasized, especially our president Dr. Ahmad Yusuf Ad-Durawish emphasized that you should provide a special opportunity for Pakistani and for non-Arabic students, non-Arabian students, non-Arabic speakers, because we have launched since 1 year, since 15 years, since 20 years before, we have launched. We are launching every year 3-month course, 6-month course, also translating, interpretation and translation. Both are.
Okay,
both
that's
are.
great.
I request you, and I request all the people, and I request all Pakistani, they are admitting, they may and they have to apply. They may apply for that courses, for that opportunity. We should get information from that courses, and this is the I may say that a greatest opportunity for us,
Yes,
and especially in our federal Islamabad.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, each and every one of you, for taking out time and joining us on such an important day. But ladies and gentlemen, before you actually decide, I think that there is one thing which needs to be done, and that is that opportunity needs to be on the table. And for somebody who will actually know any language, I'm not just saying, Chinese, I'm not just saying Arabic, so it may be any language you might know. One, if you have the capital to invest, obviously you can do business. But other than that, the only option is either you'll be teaching the language, either you'll be translating it for somebody who's actually not in his or her country, or or what else, or you'll be probably translating. So you really need to know what you're looking for over here as well. And not just Islamic University, there are a lot of universities who are offering courses with Arabic and other languages, for example, Namal as well. So please make sure that if you want to learn Arabic, learn it the right way. And for all of those parents who are out there, if you're teaching your kids how to learn Quran, please make them understand Quran as well.
Absolutely. If there's anything you need to write to us, write on our Facebook page with the name of
World This Morning.
On Twitter.
World This Morning without a G.
Daily Motion on YouTube.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
And to repeat, you can catch
going to be at 5:11 p.m. tonight. Till the next day. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Khuda Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.